Hello and welcome to The Wrong Podcast, a show where we watch and analyze all the movies in Lifetimes of the Wrong series. I'm Claudia,
I'm Jory.
and today we are talking about The Wrong Mommy, written by Robert Dean Klein, Jeffrey Schenk, and Peter Sullivan, 2019, a week after the previous one. Jory, what did you think of The Wrong Mommy?
So, I want to bring up my pre-viewing experience, which was going to the Wikipedia page to go, I want to make sure I'm getting the right one, and then seeing a new one's coming out tomorrow.
I just saw that too.
The wrong
Oh, we're
baby
creeping
daddy.
towards 30.
Yeah.
The Wrong Baby Daddy is so fucking unhinged as a name.
Uh, but with this one, I don't know if it was because of the gap in recording due to being blasted by the retail bad brain beam for so long, or if this one just knocked out. But this one was wild.
This movie was fucking unhinged.
I was not bored like at all during this. It was like paced way better than they usually have been. The end still kind of just like it just kind of happens and feels like there should have been a little bit more, but like things happen at like the end of Act 1 and Act 2, like end of 30 minutes, end of an hour, like they should in like a regular movie. The wrong in this movie, she, even though everyone in these movies when they're the wrong, they act in a way that's sinister because you really need to telegraph it, but it worked better in this than like the other ones, especially with Jessica Morris's character just almost immediately be like, this lady's weird. There's something wrong with her.
Yeah. Jessica Morris was on screen going, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy. She's the bad guy this time. Okay, wait. So, like, not to give away so many plot points, but, like, this one is so different in so many regards. But, like, yeah, she spots it so quickly. And also, I think that this is best exemplified by the fact that in Act 1, or, like, the cold open or whatever, we see the wrong hide a camera in their house, as is tradition. And later on in the movie, for the first time in 11 movies, somebody finds one of the cameras.
And
she finds the camera.
It's the first time it was like that's my first note, is that it's the first size appropriate hidden camera. It's not like a 2007 webcam or just like a giant like lens inside of a book or anything. It looks like an actual hidden camera.
Yeah. I was very pleasantly surprised by this film overall. I will now, listeners, when I say this, please know I am not saying this is a good film.
No.
I am saying that this is a for some reason I want to say it makes it a great film. It's a really entertaining film.
Yeah.
Is it like the best written and acted? No, but I sincerely like. It's so funny, during the screening of this that I did in the server that we're both in, I was like, man, I've missed these movies. I forgot how bad they are.
Yeah.
But yet I was still on the edge of my fucking seat the whole time.
Yeah. It feels like the perfect timing for it. Besides like taking a bit of a break, and then it also being the 11th, so it's like they crossed the barrier into the double digits with 10, and now it's like a whole new world with these. Maybe it's a one-off and the next couple will be like but this is when we're getting into like the goofy fucking names like House Sitter and Wedding Planner, so I think it's gonna be matching this or around there for a while, which will be nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm feeling good about this project. I think that it's just going to go up from here.
Yeah.
Or it's going to go down in a spectacular fashion. Jory, did you have predictions for this movie?
I did. I didn't have very many, and one of them came true in a way that was like, holy shit. So
Ooh.
I'll deal with my two obvious ones because it's kind of what you can do. But of course, there's gonna be a kid held hostage scene, which not really. Um,
Mm, not knowingly.
not knowingly. And then I was like, I think in this one, Vivica's gonna be a coworker instead of like a teacher or a principal or something. Which boss, so kind of. Uh,
Yeah.
the the prediction I had about the wrong was going to be a surrogate mother for Jessica Morris and whoever
Oh
her
my
husband was
god.
going to be for the movie. I thought it was like they hired someone to be a surrogate, or like they're going to meet up with someone, and either they turned out to be a bad person or they took the place of the person they were going to meet. Or
Jory, I wrote down the same thing.
the other one I had was I thought that um Jessica Morris and whoever her husband going to be, they would have adopted a child, and the wrong mommy was going to be an alleged former teen mom who had to give her kid up for adoption is now making contact with her alleged child. I thought it was going
Oh
to be something
man.
like that, which in a way there's a part of that that's true, which is weird.
Yeah, it's I didn't expect we'll get there. We'll get there. I'll say my piece when we get there. My predictions were same as you. I wrote this is going to be a surrogate situation. That was my big call. Wrong. Teenager is a notable secondary character because I was like, I'm pretty sure we've seen exactly one character, maybe two, under the age of like 13 in this franchise.
Yeah.
I was wrong. We have like an alleged 7-year-old who's probably like 11.
The thing that I noticed with that right away, and then thinking back to the wrong stepmother, was that there's more daytime scenes, which then normally you'd get like some at night, like dark out, which it makes sense because you can't shoot with the kid after a certain time.
True.
So I noticed that little tidbit with this. Like, there's like no nighttime scenes in this movie. It's all daytime, probably because of the kid.
That makes a lot of sense. I did not clock that, but you were so right. And you know, I usually like to make a call on how somebody is going to die. I wrote one person is going to get stabbed, and I was spot on with
Yeah.
that. Precisely one person got stabbed. No, wait, sorry, I'm wrong. 2 people got stabbed. Fuck. Okay.
Well,
Anyway.
the second one was so quick that it's like, oh, I guess we're done with that.
Yeah. I'll say that maybe she lived. So, Jory, would you like to get into the summary here?
Sure. So to start off, we get the studio logo opening in onto a slender, we can assume this is the wrong mommy figure, breaking into the home where we see Jessica Morris in bed alongside like her daughter sleeping, and Alan Cypher, and this lady is laying cameras around. At one point, I thought she was wearing heels when she was tiptoeing, and I was like, that'd be insane if she was just sneaking in with heels, but I feel like these kinds of movies would do that.
She would inherently be tiptoeing at that point.
Yeah. And then it cuts to the next day. We get a look into Jessica Morris's life. I'm already forgetting her name in this movie.
Her name is Melanie.
Melanie. And her husband, Alex. I remember that.
No relation.
It's a very boring name. And,
wow, okay. I won't take offense that that's my actual first name.
It's just when you're going from Alan Cypher to Alex, it's like, come on.
True. Can I say, though, just real quick, it's nice to have Jessica Morris and Jason Shane Scott in this movie together, and they're, like, on the same side.
Yeah. They're not, like, their relationship isn't really at odds. It's not, like, put at odds as much as it was in The Wrong Student?
Wrong teacher.
Wrong teacher. Yeah, that's why, because, yeah, that doesn't work because she's not the wrong in that movie. That's
yeah.
why I keep wanting to call it The Wrong Student. But yeah, and they have a happy modern uh household. They're both working parents. She's already clearly overworked. She's trying to get her daughter to wear shoes. The daughter doesn't want to wear the shoes that she wants her to. I liked that she's like, "Come on, you'll be late for school." And the daughter's like, "Good."
It is a very 7-year-old thing to say.
I was like, "Yeah, there's no kids who are excited for school." Then I remember my sister was excited for school, but also she wants to be a teacher now that she's like
Aw.
becoming a teenager. So it lines up that she probably enjoys school. But yeah, they're clearly overworked. They call up she calls up her mother, Dee Wallace, for like
Yep.
to be a babysitter, and she's like, "Sorry, I'm going on a 10-day trip," which
She said a cruise.
a cruise.
And I went, D. Wallace, no! I know what happens. I saw movie number 6.
You're going to get romance scammed. Which gives us a time frame for how long this movie covers, which you don't really get those from
True.
these. Sometimes it seems like it's only like 3 days. Sometimes it seems like it could be like a month.
True.
And from here, it's also interesting. Like, I know that we usually know who the wrong is from the beginning, but I feel like the reveal is like right after this. We see her spying on her. It feels a little too soon, even.
Yeah, she menaces like right away.
Yeah.
She's like in a parking lot watching her go into her office building. Also in the background, while she is spying on Melanie, our main character, there's somebody who clearly like pulled their car up like too far into the parking spot and went over the curb, and you can see them backing off of the curb in the shot, which I noticed and was distracted by.
That's awesome. And yeah, she shows up at her job, which we do learn after a little bit is like an ad agency, but it has very like startup vibes to it. They've got like open cubicles, they've got like a barista working there, they've got like a snack stand, they've just got some like bikes lined up in the office.
Yeah, it's very LA.
When she gets in, she talks to one of her coworkers who is mentioning that they laid off a couple people, and she's like, "I didn't know we were downsizing." It's like they didn't either, and she's already stressed because she's constantly 10 minutes late for work. To which I was thinking, I understand things happen, but just wake up 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah, you guys start getting your kid ready 10 minutes earlier. Like I get having a kid and stuff, but honestly, you're like I do get it, but also by the age of 7, you're kind of starting to set a bad example for your daughter.
Yeah, and we get the an early misdirect because she goes up to meet the boss, who we see as Vivica A. Fox, and getting called into the office. Like, oh no, telling her to have a seat. Like, oh, is she gonna get fired? No, she's promoted to like A1 account executive or something like that.
If I was just laid off from that job and I found out that Mel here got promoted, I would be kind of upset.
Yeah, the lady who's 10 minutes late every single day, but
Yeah.
I'm fired because you're in a bad mood.
Yeah, also like Mel is like so bad at selling herself for this position that she already has. She's like,
Yeah.
but I'm always 10 minutes late. She might even say like she has trouble focusing and shit or something. And it's like, hey, maybe don't tell your boss who's promoting you and theoretically giving you a raise that you're
Yeah.
always 10 minutes late. Always.
We see that from like in this we kind of cut out to see that the wrong is kind of hearing in on the meeting and how she's going to get to hire an assistant for her, and we can quickly draw the connection that she's going to become the assistant for her, and hopefully, hey, maybe within the next like 30 to 40 minutes we'll know the motivation. Which happened later than I thought it would have, but it was It was not where I thought it would go.
Yeah, you only really find out her motivation in like the last 15, maybe 20 minutes of the movie,
Yeah.
which is bizarre to me.
And Vivica really wants Melanie to secure an account with Yowzers, because they were like college roommates. She's like roommates and friends with the CEO of Yowzers, and Vivica quotes them as the Amazon for toys, which
Yeah,
I think
which is
in
wild. I
2019,
thought Amazon was the Amazon for
yeah,
toys, quite frankly.
Amazon for toys works in like 2006.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets to interview a bunch of assistants for the position. We get like a quick thing of like her going back home, be like, "Honey, I got the job. I'm promoted, but I'm a little nervous." It's like we get some flirting because he's really he's really turned on by a powerful woman, which is the start
Base
of
faced.
this movie laying it on thick for the like weak pro women, yeah, go feminism message that it has.
Yeah, it's they're trying. They're trying. It's written by a man, but they're trying.
Yeah.
I this was also pointed out by I believe Elle in the writing server while we were watching, where her husband Alex is like kissing her neck and she's like, "No hickeys, I have interviews tomorrow." And Elle was like, "They said that she had interviews like on Monday. How long did it take her to get home?"
she's got she commutes from LA to Seattle. It's like a 3-day drive, 2-3 day drive if you take if you go the normal way and don't just drive straight.
These interviews, or the one interview that we see a bunch of that she doesn't end up hiring, but this guy gets a job there?
Yes, the wrong friend.
Yes, yeah, it is the guy from The Wrong Friend. It's Chris.
Yes, because I was like, hey, he looks like he's had some work done recently. And then my girlfriend went, "That's the guy from one of the other movies," because she remembers, and then I remembered that uh we talked about it. She remembers him doing the like crazy faces while working out from that movie. She's
Yeah.
like, "I recognize him from the eyebrow."
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Good eye.
Which it is very funny in this movie. He's like very like lax and kind of goofy, and I think he works better in that role. And I don't know if
I
it's just the
agree.
contrast from seeing him be the like creepy stalker weirdo, but it works pretty well in this one.
Yeah, he was never meant to be weirdo negative. He was always meant to be weirdo positive.
Yeah.
I will say this interview. So, Jory, I don't know if you know this about me, but at previous job that I had, I was a manager and I was the hiring manager there at the job. So I'm very familiar with doing interviews. There is one point where Jessica Morris says, "I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to ask you this." And I said, "You really need to make sure of this beforehand. You really need to, like, it is straight up, like, illegal to ask certain things." Luckily, her
Yeah.
question is, "You wouldn't have a problem assisting a woman, would you?" Which is not illegal, but it's like, it's kind of tacky, if I'm
It,
gonna be honest.
it is one of those where there's some questions I see on like Indeed applications and stuff where I know I mostly see it from churches because churches here are hiring for like AV people and stuff, and they
Mhm.
usually ask questions like, "So how long have you been going to church?" Because I know they can't ask like, "How
Mhm.
long have you been a Christian?" or whatever. So they word it like that, so you can be like, "Well, you need to be going to church for it." It's like
Yeah,
it still
it's
feels kind of gross, where it's like this you should have if he's like going for the position and he's still there and did like walk out, you should probably assume he's okay with it. I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
I'd also like feel bad if I got asked that. I'd be like, I would come from it's like I understand why you're asking, but it also feels like you're concerned that I wouldn't be okay
Yeah,
with
do
it.
I look like misogynist?
Yeah.
He does say he starts going on like a big rant about like his sisters, not a rant, but like a big ramble about how he has 4 sisters or something stupid like that. And at one point he says, "I love having sisters." And Jory, I know that you are an older sibling as well.
Yeah.
And I will say, as the oldest of 3 girls, I love my sisters. I don't love having sisters. Or at least I didn't when I was living with with them.
See, I can't say if it would really matter because for me because like I'm 19 years older than my sister, so I
Yeah,
know
that
that
does make a
dynamic
difference.
is a lot different. Same with like my brother, which I'm only 8 years older than my brother, but he was lived with his dad most of the time, so
Mm,
that's
fair.
also different because I saw him like every other weekend.
Fair enough. I'm also 8 years older than my youngest sister, so I feel that gap. That guy, very strange. I'm glad that he got a job there, even
Yeah.
if it was not assisting Melanie, though I think that he would have done probably a better job than the next candidate she sees,
Definitely.
Phoebe, who's our
Yeah.
wrong.
She
Hmm?
is, and besides her planting cameras and looking menacing, she also convinces the receptionist that someone else is a meth addict, and
Yeah.
she just believes her.
Yeah, it's like a bizarre thing to just like believe and to like write someone off. It's like the paranoia that instills in me. It's like Lifetime has got its hooks in me. That I'm like, God, could that actually happen? The answer is probably no.
I would hope not. Just the sheer just like quick you'd be willing to believe this person is. I would have questions for how did you get your job if you're just willing to believe some lady who was seen
Yeah.
looking around the office in a suspicious way at least one day ago?
Yeah, 1 to 5 dates go, depending on Jessica Morris's commute.
Yeah.
Oh, in this interview, I think it's in the interview at least, it somehow comes up that Phoebe, our wrong, is an orphan, because of course she is. Of course she's an orphan.
Yeah.
But apparently so is Jessica Morris.
Yeah, she she lost her dad.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, this interview has a lot of like weird stuff that comes. This is when we get the start of like I. It's one of those things where wish I could say I could credit the actress for ad libbing it, which it probably isn't. She just knew how to deliver it, and I don't know if it was like an intentional like something they wanted the character to have. But she says a lot of weird stuff in this movie,
Yeah.
and she delivers it in a way that makes it feel weird from the jump. Like when uh Melanie is like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of got this job and I'm kind of new at this. And Phoebe goes, "Oh, virgin executive." It's like, that's
Yeah.
so weird.
That is like borderline sexual harassment,
Yeah.
which not a great look in a job interview, I will
Yeah.
say.
There's like some other stuff in this that like she mentions that about like she's all about women empowerment, me too, job equality. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't I wouldn't put me I understand like the idea behind it, but don't include me too when you're talking about like positives.
Yeah,
Like
that makes me feel like the writers don't know what Me Too is.
yeah, absolutely. This is like all the women are talking out online. It's a positive thing.
Yeah. It feels like I think it was a crack.com video from fucking a decade ago or more. Where one of the guys is like talking to a woman about like a feminist reading of a film or something, and he's like, "Oh, hashtag me too." Like, as in, like, I get that too, but he specifically says hashtag me too. Same energy. We also get a line that I genuinely really like. This movie is so fucking, like, quotable,
Yeah.
first of all. Melanie, Jessica Morris, goes to Vivica A. Fox and she's like, this one. I want this one. I want Phoebe. And Jessica Morris is like, this Phoebe will be taking over your life. Nothing worse than the wrong assistant. And I was like, I see you. I see you on both of those sentences. I love that. Also, why isn't this called the wrong assistant?
It should be. Because I never felt like there's like the one scene with her daughter later where it feels like she's trying to become like the mother to and like replacing her in the family and everything, but it didn't feel right to have her be the wrong mommy. The wrong assistant works better, but with that line too, it feels like they're getting more self-aware than they have been in the previous films with it. Like they're
Yeah.
starting to like get silly with it. And by 2019 also is around the time most people they don't have cable. So they're probably getting more views through like Tubi or Pluto TV or like Amazon Prime Video or the Lifetime Movie Club. Like
Yeah.
there's probably less and less people watching them on television at this point.
Yeah, and this is also the era where they're putting out 4 in the same month.
Yeah, it's the wrong month probably.
Yeah. Apparently July. Wrong month. Have to remember that one. Also, while Vivica A. Fox is saying those lines, we get these like slow-mo shots of
Yeah.
Phoebe in the parking lot like putting on sunglasses, and I'm like, you are so fucking cool.
Yeah. She's about to walk into the back of a car too.
Yeah.
Because she's like walking kind of in the street, I think because they didn't want to block the sidewalk in case anyone was actually using it.
You know what? Based. Good call. Also, moment soon after that I was deeply surprised by, Eric Roberts is here, and he's in the same room as other people.
Yeah. At first I was like, he's not in the same room as them. It's like, oh wait, he is. Cool. And with that, this scene felt like a parody movie scene. This was so over the top with the like flirting between her and Eric Roberts and just like the
Yeah.
reaction from the other like account assistants like it felt like a comedy scene when it's supposed to I think it's supposed to be uncomfortable, but or maybe it is supposed to be comedic, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. There are a lot of times where I don't know how to read the tone of these films.
It's hard too because if I put myself in the like headspace of lifetime stay-at-home mom, she's seeing this and she's like, "Oh, I hear about those sleazy guys and like in the
Mhm.
workplace kind of thing." So it like feels gross, but like from us coming from a different angle, it just feels so goofy.
It does. I think the fact that it's Eric Roberts doing it too gives
That
it
too.
a bonus.
The way he delivers all of his dirty old man lines in this movie feels like he's smiling on the inside while doing it, like he knows how like ridiculous it is.
I
Because it
mean,
doesn't
he's smiling on the outside doing it.
that too, but there's just a slight like I don't know if sarcasm is the right word, but he doesn't feel like a genuine dirty old man, if that makes sense. Like I'm not as
Yeah.
grossed out by it because of how silly it is.
Yeah, it feels almost facetious in universe.
Yeah,
I wrote down the quote, guessing is for game shows. Throwing that one out there.
yeah, because she has like a lot of ones like that. Because after the meeting with Eric Roberts, who he's like something Kirkland, like the Costco products, as my girlfriend pointed out.
Yeah.
Like Kirkland Auto Group, like one of the big car dealerships. After that, they're like going over the accounts and stuff to call, and we come at the end of the conversation. She said something about like yoga studios, and Phoebe just goes namaste. Like, yeah, uh huh.
You got it.
Which is when the first like, well, I guess the flirting with Eric Roberts was kind of the first thing. The second thing where she's like, this girl's kind of weird is when she's like, yeah, I already called them for you, except for the Yowzers account. She's like, why'd you do that? I would have liked to have been the one to talk to them first.
Yeah. I see, like, that's one thing where I'm like, if I didn't know this was a wrong movie, if this happened in real life, I would be like, it's like her first week and she's trying to make a good impression. She's trying to be proactive.
Yeah.
I think, she overstepped here, but she had good intentions as
Yeah.
opposed to, the actual facts of the movie, which is she wants to, like, single white female her. So that's my thoughts on that. We finally got, like, a single white female plot where she, like, wants to take over her life.
I'm pretty sure we've brought up that movie like every other movie we've covered too.
Yeah.
Because these drift so close to being that, but this is the one that's like the most like it.
And I would not expect The Wrong Mommy to be that one.
Yeah. So after this, yeah, she's like talking about how stressed she is about like setting up that account because Vivica is really wants that account because like it's this the Amazon for toys, so it's be a huge one. So they leave the office to go out for drinks more casually and talk about it.
Yes.
And she's like, so how did I do today? And she's like, well, you're doing a good job, except don't flirt with Eric Roberts. It's kind of gross. And she's like, oh no, I'm just being nice.
Yeah, she gets a little too defensive about it. Also, I did write down here that in this scene, Phoebe is kind of giving Mel bedroom eyes.
Yeah, she is. She is like really flirty with everyone, even though it's really played up with the men, of course. But the way she like looks at her, I guess knowing what her motivations are, it could be like a I long for what you have kind of thing. But
I don't know. I've seen, I've sat across the table from many a lesbian, and I don't know, that look is kind of like this woman wants to fuck you. Maybe that's me projecting. We do find out that in college, so Melanie was the roommate of the current like CEO, COO, or whatever of Yowzers. And one time, Mel made out with this woman's boyfriend. It was one time, and she never found out about it, but she still feels kind of bad.
And she can't even remember his last name. That's how like one off of a thing it was and how long ago it was. But she still feels bad about it.
Also, later on in the movie, I kind of think that she actually doesn't remember his first name either.
Yeah,
Because they give a different name.
I wrote that down too because they say Joe here, and then there she says, the girl says Joel, and I don't know if I feel like I'm giving him too much credit if she says if her saying Joe is that's how much she doesn't remember versus maybe I'm being mean, but feels it's just more like a script fuck up.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it was intentional because the names are so close. Which is also more evidence for a script fuck up, but
And after like this, she's like, yeah, just keep quiet about it, it just happened. She's like, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Wink, wink. Melanie gets up to like use the restroom, and Phoebe just like steals her phone.
Do we ever find out what she does?
Yeah, well, she just uses it as an excuse to bring it to her house.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna like do something like tracking on her or something, but I think it's just so she has an excuse to show up at her place. And
classic.
we cut to the house where her husband Alex and their daughter are playing Candyland, but with 3 guys on the board for the 2 of them.
I also wrote that down. And then after the scene, they pretend that she was like playing the whole time.
Yeah. Comes home to see them playing and joining in, and right, like almost immediately after, Phoebe's like knocks at the door, is like, "Hey, you forgot your phone."
Yeah.
which which like it feels funny how quick it is. Like, yeah, she was probably just like tailing her immediately. Like,
Oh yeah. She was waiting in like next door.
yeah. And she said that she has like post-pregnancy brain ever since this one was born.
I thought it was kind of a funny mom joke, to be honest.
I was just like, I was a little confused, like, trying to rack my brains. Like, have I heard of moms having bad memory after having a kid?
Your brain gets kind of scrambled. Your brain gets scrambled after you've had a kid, in the first year or whatever. But I think the idea of like the fact that she is so overwhelmed,
Oh yeah,
her like personal joke is that never went away for her.
no, that would line up with how she's always late and everything.
Yeah.
And this is when I wrote down the vibe with Phoebe is like bad immediately.
Oh yeah, it's rancid.
Because like she like I it's something you do with a kid, but I still think it's kind of weird when she like goes and like tickles her daughter's belly. It's like something that you don't think too much of, but it's like, that's a little weird. And then when she talks to her husband, she's like, "And I won't tickle your belly unless you ask." It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
That too far.
Yeah,
that's like sometimes, and this is definitely me projecting, but sometimes Phoebe feels like she feels so autistic coded in that like she like she gets that making a joke here is more appropriate than actually doing it, but she doesn't get that making the joke is also not appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird. And the tickling the kid's belly, I'm also like, that's maybe something you do to like a 3-year-old, right? At 7, it feels to somebody else's kid, it feels a little, and not because I'm like somebody who's like, the child is your property or whatever. But in that moment, I was like, get your fucking hands off my kid. If I was her, but also, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
So like it does get skewed. So I don't know. It's a lot. And then we find out that Phoebe has like a framed portrait of Melanie and her family, and I'm like, that's somehow less weird than that scene.
Yeah. It's with it too, like after she goes to like let her out of the house, she like says something like, she says just like weird shit about like, wow, you've got it all, you think you've got everything and it feels good, but then it's all taken away from you.
Yeah, just some unhinged shit.
This is when I go to Vivica. I'm like, I made a mistake. This girl's weird.
Yeah, she's still in her probationary period, right? Can we, that guy with the sisters, I think he's looking better all the time.
I know that California has a little bit better worker protections than other places, but I feel like first day on the job and you do some like weird stuff, that'll be enough to let you go.
Is California a right to work state?
That I don't know.
It is not. I didn't know that. Is Connecticut also not a right to work state? Hang on, I'm learning some things. They do not have right to work law. Oh, hang on. I could have sworn I lived in a right to work state where they could just fire you for any fucking reason. Anyway.
I thought Oregon was. Huh. Fascinating. I know South Dakota is a right to work state because it's South Dakota. Yeah. But I thought Oregon was one too. that explains why if I don't take a break, I get like yelled at.
Yeah.
Because like we'll get in fucking trouble. Stop. Take the break. Yeah, her daughter immediately is like, I like her mom. Uh, even though she knew her for like 2 minutes, which
Yep.
that's how my sister is. Well, I was gonna say was, but still is. When my sister was this age as well, she would have been like, "Come on, stay, play with us," just like she was.
Yeah, some kids are just like that.
Yeah, we see Alan Cypher try to put the moves on her, and she's like, "Hey, good night, sorry." Which they're a little steamier in this movie than we've seen with like happy married couples. Like when she talked about the promotion, everything, their like makeout session was a little more steamy than we usually get. And then here
Yeah.
he's trying to like, hey, let's celebrate.
Yeah, they seem to have a very active sex life, which, good for them. Happy for them, I guess. And at this point, at work the next day, or however long after, a coworker finally says what we're all thinking, which is, "Hey, Phoebe is really fucking weird."
Yeah.
There's not much more to that, I think. I think Melanie says like there was another intern you said smelled like milk or something like that.
Yeah. It's like you just get bad vibes from everyone. And we get Phoebe like peeking around the corner while Melanie's going like, just focus on the list of names that you have. So, and if you get even like half of those names, you'll be in the same position that I am soon. And this is one of many moments in this movie where in previous movies that could just be like a line, but they follow up on a lot of the stuff they set up in this movie more so than in the past.
They do. They truly do. I didn't even catch that line. So it's very interesting to hear that.
And then right after is we get a pro-vaccination line where Melanie's talking on the phone about how to hearing from who we find out is the babysitter who got sick with the flu, and she says, "Who doesn't get the shot?"
Yeah.
Which maybe it's because even though this is a pre-COVID movie, but post-COVID, I'm far more like it's something that sticks out in my brain more when people like mention vaccines.
Yep.
Like, of course, I knew about like anti-vax people and stuff before, but it's just sticks out even more so after the year 2020.
Yeah. Based. Based then, based now.
And she's like, hey, "Is that a client?" It's like, "No, it's babysitter. She's sick." And it's like, "Well, I can watch your kid, you know." Like, "No, I can't ask you to do that. I don't want you to feel like you have to offer up more and do stuff in your free time as a favor to me to get ahead in the workplace, because I hated when I felt like that." She's like, no, it's totally fine. Remember, I'm all about women helping other women."
Girl power.
Which
So yeah, she's gonna babysit. Phoebe comes over and adjusts Alan Cypher's tie, and by Alan Cypher I mean Alex, aka Jason Shane Scott.
yeah.
There's also a line later where she says something about like not about helping him tie his tie. It's like that shit was already tied. She adjusted it like an inch.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe the scene originally called for her tying the tie, but she was like, I don't know how to do that. And then she like gives him a massage because he's had this like horrible pain in his neck for like a week, which like I don't know, maybe see a doctor or something.
Yeah. But then we don't get Melanie walking down the stairs to her rubbing his like back and neck, which is kind of weird.
It is the energy is like not. The optics are very bad, Alex.
Like in a like I would give it a pass if like maybe Phoebe had been her assistant for like 6 months, a year, like he's used to like talking to her and stuff. Uh but no, this has like been like 2-3 days.
Maybe.
I was gonna say, yeah, Melanie just like walks down and immediately has like an troubled look on her face, and the amount she just looks troubled dealing with them is always like, man, you should have just gotten rid of her as soon as you're feeling off about it. I understand there's the quick line from Vivica is like, so yeah, you had her stuff checked through HR, right? And she's like, yeah. She doesn't want to admit she messed up, but like a lot of the stuff that's happened in these movies, like just get ahead of it. Admit you fucked up and get ahead of it before it gets worse, please, please.
Yes. The cover your ass culture is so bad. While they are at this restaurant, we do cut back to the home where Phoebe is giving like the princess lived happily ever after with her prince, and you think that she's reading a storybook, but it's like then like the credits roll on a movie.
I paused it to see if they were real credits. They're not, unfortunately. I was hoping it's one of David Dakota's other movies.
Yeah, we do get some great names though. We got Denny Soren as Neela, Lauren Trent as Twill, Ken Challen in his seminal role as Derp, Leo Kirk as Zinta, and Dev Cordwain as Suela. Love this film.
Real Sleeve McDykel from NES Baseball energy with
And she's just like monologuing to this kid about like
yeah.
nothing, and this kid's eventually like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, so that's just like movies, but in real life you die alone. It's the short version of what she tells her. It's like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about because you're probably sleepy. Good night.
Yep. And then Mel and Alex come home, and she's like, Phoebe's like, well, I better leave you two lovebirds, anniversary sex and all. And that's another like to me very like autistic coded thing where it's like you didn't have to say the quiet part out loud, man. I better leave you two lovebirds alone already says the second part.
Yeah.
It's their anniversary, by the way, and the daughter's birthday is also tomorrow, which we had a brief discussion in the server about whether this was a shotgun wedding. But no, she was born a year after.
Yeah, they it's getting a little spat about how like uncomfortable Melanie is with her like coming on to him. He's like, no, she's just nice and whatever. She's got to come over to the birthday party because she is already invited. We can't tell her no.
Oh yeah,
And
Tina, the daughter, invites Phoebe to her birthday party the
yeah,
following day.
which unfortunately for Melanie, he's kind of right. It's like she already invited her. We can't just like be like, no, stay away. The girl's looking forward to her coming over.
Yeah.
This is where you go. You just keep your fucking eyes on her the whole time.
Yeah.
Which
Why don't you be her fucking chaperone?
yeah. Which they should have. And from this we get a sequence that made me laugh finally harder than the guy doing knife moves in the mirror.
Okay, which part?
Just him. So Phoebe taking the call from Eric Roberts, and then it was fun up until like the end of it when it got real dark real quick.
Yeah. Before this moment, though, we actually do have a very brief flash of a nightmare that Mel is having, where Phoebe is like next to her in bed, riding her husband, which was like, one, it was a little risque, and two, I kind of thought that moment was really good.
Yeah, that's a little more like, I feel like there's a word to say to include like stuff like that in these movies, but they haven't really done that in the past of like, because that's really showing how much she is getting inside her head and like making her anxious about her being her assistant and everything.
Yeah.
The stuff with Eric Roberts is like, I think it's right before she walks into the house, or it's like around before she starts babysitting. She gets a text from Eric Roberts saying something about my package, wink face. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. And then he calls her, and she has like a flirty tone with him. He's like, hey, you get my text? And she's like, yeah, about your package. Yeah. you want a sneak preview? And she says, uh, sure. Send it to me. And then she pulls the phone away from her face because he's like, yeah. And she pulls the phone from her face, and she, she gets because she makes like a slight disgusted look on her face.
Yeah.
And then he's like, your turn. She's like, where are you right now? And so she like goes to his office, and they start like talking in this. And there's like at back, she's like trying to get more out of him, and he's like, let's just get naked and do it on the desk. But she's like, no, we got a girl likes teasing or whatever. And then she's like, you got any more pictures? Bursts out laughing when he turns to his computer, meaning he keeps pictures of his hog on his PC in the office.
He has like a whole gallery that he's showing her, and he's like, at one point he's like, oh yeah, the lighting and the angle on that one,
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
God.
And then she like then it gets dark because she starts like saying stuff about like seeing stuff like it before, and then says her foster dad. It's like, ah, fuck, this is really dark now. And then chokes him with the tie.
Yeah, she says, and basically because this is vaguely important, you remind me of a foster father I used to have. He didn't just show me pics though, and then strangles him with his tie.
Yeah.
I find it funny that, like, this doesn't really matter. Like, this isn't, like, part of her plan or anything. This is purely, like, like a vigilante killing.
Yeah. This is a, what's the fucking movie? The line in this that, like, I know what they're doing with this movie, especially by mentioning Me Too earlier and everything, but she says unsolicited, and he's like, I don't know about that. She does say, like, I understand, like, power dynamics and everything, but it would have been nice if you used less affirmative language than sure.
Yeah. If she did kind of solicit them. Let's all be real who have seen the movie here.
Yeah.
They were kind of solicited.
Like, I understand it in a broader sense. It's like, yes, he is an account that they want, like, important account for the business stuff, so she might feel pressured to agree to it. But I think it would help for the message of what she's doing if she was a little more, like, iffy, wishy-washy on it.
Yep. Huge agree. Anyway, how about an 8-year-old's birthday party? They're playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in the background of this scene, which seems a little age inappropriate for this birthday. Yeah. But I was looking at it, and like the party is a incredibly crowded room of children and adults, and the kids are just like hitting balloons at each other. And it's like, you know what? That is what an 8-year-old's birthday is kind of like. They kind of nailed that. At this party, Phoebe is like, I want to give you a special birthday gift, Tina, and the previous night, Phoebe like weaseled out of Tina the name of a boy that Tina has a crush on. And at this party, she makes this kid kiss Tina. We do find out that it was on the cheek or whatever. That's still like, that is kind of fucked.
Yeah, that's so far to like that. This is where like, I still like you just be like, no, you're done. Like, you're not around my family. You're not like having the job. Like, this is the line of like, you're also in like pushing other people's kids to do stuff. Like, that's like, if I was this kid's mom and I found out about this, I'd be fucking furious.
Yeah, I'd be like, who is this predator you invited to this party?
Yeah.
And then, of course, Melanie would be like, well, my daughter invited her to the party. And I would say, that's not better, Mel.
Yeah.
It is. I'm glad that it's not treated as like a cute thing
Well, yeah,
either. Like very genuinely. Like when they first brought up the like, ooh, who do you have a crush on thing? I'm like, oh, straight people are fucking insufferable.
yeah,
And the fact that they made it like, no, this is a really weird thing that
yeah.
she like made this kid do. Feel that felt good. Robert Dean Klein, you nailed it on that one. And then also that one guy who with the sisters in the interview, he shows up at the party, I think with like her other kind of work friend. And this guy is like so hyped to hit balloons with kids.
Yeah,
Like
this
in the
this is
background, he keeps like kind of making gestures to the kids, like throw it here, and hits it back to them.
he's not acting. He is just having fun on the set. This is what I was like,
Yeah,
okay, he was made to play these kinds of roles. Like
exactly.
he should be the friend role in like a Disney Channel movie about like some teen girl or something. Like he's the best friend, like the male best friend of hers or something. Like he's really good at this.
Yeah. Or he's like one of the kids' older brothers or something.
Yeah.
I loved his performance in this film. It's so fucking weird and I love it. Jory.
It's so fun just compared to like I don't, maybe it's just because of how he was in The Wrong Friend that's like having that conscious is like we can see what he was really made for or something, but he's just so much fun in this.
Huge agree. And Jory, please tell me about the scene that I know you want to talk about.
Yeah, it, and this one was absolutely supposed to be comedy because
Yes.
they like take her into the kitchen after like she's sent Phoebe home and is stressed out. That finds out that Eric Roberts was found dead in his office and like kind of like beating around. Like, she's autoerotic. What's it called? And he says asphyxiation, and then he kind of explains like the basis of it, like how like why people do it, how they do it, and then how it can lead to someone dying. And then he goes, or so I've heard. And the
Yeah.
look at Toto's face is like, dude, you're doing it.
He explains it so seriously and in such detail. It's so funny. He's like, guys will typically tie something to something shorter than them so that if something goes wrong, they can stand up before it's too late, but they don't realize that the lack of oxygen like makes it hard to impossible to stand up until it's too late, or so I've heard.
I never would have thought that they would talk about stuff like this in one of these movies.
I learned some things from that. I didn't know that was the deal with like doing it from a doorknob or whatever.
You know what? I actually didn't either. I never. I just assumed because it's just something close by, but that makes more sense.
Yeah. Robert Dean Klein, why did you feel the need to teach me that?
This is also going into like the Lifetime movie, just like the fear mongering kind of thing. This is a prime thing for like a mom to be like, "Oh God, I hope my son isn't doing that."
Jory, you don't have to wonder about whether that's something that Lifetime moms are already worried about, because there was a movie in the late 2000s called The Choking Game that stars a Degrassi actor, in which a bunch of girls from school are like not autoerotic asphyxiating themselves, but they're like choking themselves to get high. Like for fun, basically, because it's a thrill. And so that's something that Lifetime has already touched on for some reason.
So, this is a quick aside. I know you're a couple years older than me, but did you ever like hear about this going on at school? Or
No.
so maybe it's like a slight like difference, but I do remember hearing about this first on the news, and then I do remember a kid I would play World of Warcraft with talking about doing It was something similar to one of those, but it was like a self-induced one you could do, and he said he would do it until he got like lightheaded and fell on the couch. And I remember being at like 14, like, yeah, you should not do
Yep.
that. That's dangerous,
That's
dude.
truly, people are really doing stupid shit out here to get high and have
Yeah.
sex.
Same with like the meeting where Vivica announced like, I want all of you guys to get a bunch of contracts for the business. She's like, one of you guys sure has stepped up in the last few days, and that is Phoebe. She got all these
Yay.
accounts. Some of you guys could learn from her, and also, you gotta give me that fucking Yowzers account. Why aren't you doing your fucking job? Get the goddamn Yowzers account. I'm counting on you to get that account. Yeah, she's just like, I understand, like, this is a workplace, this managers get on you, but like, she doesn't have like any other stuff you want her to get done besides that one?
Yeah, right? Surely there are bigger clients. I mean, the fact that Phoebe has landed like 7 should make up for the fact that you've not landed Yowzers yet. But who am I? I'm not a businesswoman. I'm merely applying to grad school to be a therapist. Uh we do find out that Phoebe stole those leads from Mel's work friend, whose name I do not know and do not care to learn.
If you told me they didn't give her a name, I'd believe it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they did. So, and Phoebe says, it's called Darwinism. Don't hate,
Yeah.
appreciate.
The sequence also has a good laugh moment where she gets confronted and is just, you stole my list, bitch.
Yeah.
Just like out of nowhere.
Wherever they drop like anything harder than like damn or hell, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. You can say that on TV?
Only on Lifetime.
But yeah, this is after hearing about her stealing the client list, she's like, okay, yeah, no, you're fired. I'm done with you. You're getting way too into my life and everything, and you have no work ethics or morals, and I'm done with you. Don't go to Vivica saying anything, because I'm the one who hired you. I can fire you.
Yep. Which, I mean, genuinely, I do kind of think is true.
Yeah.
It's, she should have done this days ago, to be honest.
Yeah. If not when she was flirting with your husband the first time, if not when she was like being weird after babysitting, when she makes the kid kiss your kid on the cheek.
Yep. A lot of moments where you should have cut it off, but at least you
Yeah.
cut it off somewhere.
Yeah. And this is around like the 50-minute to hour mark, and I was like, oh hey, they're doing these things at like a decent pace, kinda.
Yeah. Speaking of her husband, though, she tells him that she fired Phoebe, and he says, "You fired her and didn't even tell me?" Like, why is that any of your fucking business, quite
Yeah.
frankly? Why does she need, like, your permission to fire her employee? Weirdo stuff from Alex in his single weirdest moment in the film.
Yeah. It's I know, like, when they're at the dinner, he like says a line that something about like that makes it seem like he's insecure about her making more money slightly, and then pivots to like yeah, women empowerment kind of line. But
Mm-hmm.
why does he think he needs to be tuned into her work life like this?
Yeah. A little weird.
This is also where she finds the camera.
No, that's actually later.
Oh,
Wait. No, you are right. This is where she
okay.
finds the camera.
That's right. Because then she goes to the dinner with her friend from college, who is very upset because she knows that she's already tapped into. Yeah, she doesn't want to catch up. She wants to get an ad account, but also part of her reason for being upset is she found out about her making out with her boyfriend Joel all those years ago, and if she can't trust her around her boyfriend, how can she trust her with her business? Which I kind of understand, but it had to have been like 15 to 20 years ago at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to like picture in my mind. I am almost 33 years old. Would I still be upset about that if I had like just found out about it? And like it sounds like it only happened one time, though we don't know what Phoebe told her. And I didn't know about it. It never came up and I'm not with the guy anymore.
That's the big one. Like if I thought she was gonna say like they got married or something. It's like that would be a little bit more understandable. If it's like, especially if you're not with the guy, you probably have not seen the guy in over a decade either. Like, I just didn't feeling like uncomfortable about it, but that's not a like something to still be mad about.
Yeah. I feel like if one of my friends or like basically acquaintances from college came to me and was like, "Hey, Claudia, I have a confession to make. Back in fucking 2013, I made out with your girlfriend one time." I would be like, "Damn, that's crazy. She was awful. I'm so sorry for you."
Yeah.
Maybe I'd feel a little betrayed, but not that betrayed.
I'd feel uncomfortable, and then after a little bit, go like, oh, I don't know them anymore. At this
Yeah, whatever.
at this point, it's been so long. We're probably different people.
Some of us quite literally.
Yeah. That it ends uncomfortably, and then her going to the office the next day, pissed because Phoebe's there. She's like, I fired you. And Vivica has a very terse tone, talking about like, she's done all this work and you haven't done anything really. You fucked up that account. She called us and said she would happy to work with us as long as you're nowhere near it. And she's taking the side of Phoebe, and I understand that for a movie you gotta have this, so there's conflict and drama and everything. But if I know anything about the workplace, uh management thinks everyone who's at the bottom is a complete liar, and everything they're doing is to trick you and lie to you.
Yeah.
So
As someone who was management, like, yeah. I'm not gonna say I was above that.
It's like, especially in like an office setting, like in this kind of setting, I feel like especially someone who's only been working there like a week, even
Yeah.
if the way that even if she's done a lot in that week, and we can assume that Jessica Boris has worked there for quite a while, at least a year. Like, I don't know how long, but at least long enough that she's getting promoted and knows everyone. Like, the fact that you're just gonna believe the other person, I do think that she is right and be like, yeah, you should have like turned down her offering to babysit your kid, even after she's like, no, I'll do it. Like, that's still not good
Yeah.
to do. Uh,
She does have a single good point there.
yeah,
Uh,
but
Also, this entire scene and the next like few scenes, Phoebe is wearing a snakeskin button up. And I am obsessed with this character's fashion. She is fucking serving in every scene, but this outfit in particular where she is, slithered her way into it, like in between Mel and her boss and like all of her relationships and things. It's so appropriate, and I am glad that later somebody does call her a snake.
I did notice the like snakeskin thing. I didn't think about it until you pointed out that she's like, yeah, she's like she's a snake.
Yeah. You love to see it.
Putting craft into this one a little bit. Nice
They
to see.
are. They did some stuff here. I also will say, like, in this scene, Mel like fucking comes undone. She's like unhinged in this scene. Like she's been broken
Yeah.
by this. Where she starts like sobbing. She's like, Like, look at what I found. She put a camera in my bedroom. And both, Phoebe and Vivica are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, where did you even get that? How do you know it was her? And like, I kind of love that Phoebe like completely snaps her over her knee like she's Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. It kind of rules because I feel like most other wrong protagonists are like not like plucky to the end, but they're like determined and like not they're not like deterred by this sort of thing.
Yeah.
They aren't feeling completely fucking gaslit like like Mel is.
Yeah.
I we gotta get Jessica Morris on this show.
I feel like she would agree to an interview. I do think she she would probably assume if the podcast to be a video podcast and we just have to sit on like Zoom or something and just not say that we're doing the video element, but I think she would agree to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just sign up for fucking or restart my premium for Zencaster or whatever for, a month.
Yeah.
And we'll have separate audio, separate video. Easy peasy. And we could always put the video on YouTube.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know, fuck it.
Because I feel like most of the people who work on these movies would be like approachable and willing to do interviews and stuff, and I feel like especially like David Dakota, maybe he's if he has time in between making 15 movies a month, he
Yeah.
would be, especially for like at our level of podcasting, of like he would relate to the low budget, not like big time podcasting kind of thing.
Yeah, we're indie. And I especially with Jessica Morris because we talked about back in fucking The Wrong Teacher how her like Instagram is just like her actual Instagram, like she has pictures of her family in places where she's been and stuff, like
Yeah.
it's a real person's Instagram. She seems very approachable. So Jessica, if you happen to be sorry, Miss Morris, if you happen to be listening right now, email us. Do we have a dedicated email?
We do. It is Jory, insert email here when editing.
There we go. Oh, and we get a confrontation from the work friends here.
Oh, I think yeah, this is like
Where
right before this though.
Hmm?
She's like they're talking outside, and she's just like, "Hey, I'm taking over. You're not doing shit right." And hey, I might even like fuck your husband if you're not doing anything. She's like, You have been spying on me then," and and she's like, "Well, I'm not saying I did anything. I've just never seen a guy who needed it that bad since a freshman in high school." And then she slaps her.
Oh yeah, I forgot that, man. So many things happen in the span of like 5 minutes in this
Yeah.
one that I'm like, things just get lost. God damn.
But that was like, holy shit. I didn't think she'd go there.
Yeah, clutching my pearls a little bit. The work friends are like, we don't know what the fuck you're up to, but you're hiding something and you're being a big bitch and you're a snake. And the guy with the sisters, of course, he says that he was a computer science major. He can find anything on anyone. To which we asked Sylvie, who works in tech, is that true? And she said no.
See, this is like a minor thing. This is where I feel like this is one of them where we could like take the like skeleton of this movie and character and stuff and punch it up a bit so it could be a like thriller that belongs in a movie theater instead of on TV. And I
Mhm.
think this would be a good one if we set it up like a different kind of like startup agency and everything, and he's their like IT tech guy, like
Mm.
because that way we would know he accesses people's info and everything for the job, like he onboards people, gets them into their systems and everything. So we just get that little bit of like he knows how to do this stuff instead of just like I think for the Lifetime moms watching, go, oh, he's young, he knows how to use computers.
Yeah. Hang on. Speaking of onboarding and stuff, we're about to find out that Phoebe is not this woman's real name. Her real name is
Yeah.
Jessica Nolan. But that just made me realize like the fake name reveal doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I know I'm not supposed to think about it this hard, but every time we've had a fake name before, it's been like there were some kind of fake documents, or it's just
Yeah.
like, you know, you were told by somebody this is that guy's name, and you're like, okay, your name's Claudia Alexandrite, I guess, and not not that must be at least somewhat of your legal name. That's not even my first name. Um, and this one, it's like she had to fill out like a W-2.
Yeah. Like, I don't know any job that has been like, okay, we'll wait for you to get your to get your two forms of ID to us, and you can just work some shifts, and we'll get it figured out later. Like,
Yeah,
you're not stepping out onto the floor and training until you get that stuff to us.
yeah, not especially not in California of all places, out in Hollyweird. Come on. But yeah, her real name is Jessica Nolan, and her last known address was at a treatment center. At it was like at 32 Beach Road. The guy said it 32, which like the same energy as in the hit video game The Quarry when one guy says we should call 911.
You guys don't want to do a second take on that one?
Well, another character another character goes, "Do you mean 911? Who says
Yeah.
911?"
That's pretty good.
And Phoebe kills him. Phoebe, he's taken off all his clothes for David Dakota's mandatory homoeroticism.
I was
Um,
cheering. I wish this movie was
Me
on
too.
like HBO or something, so we would have gotten full nudity. But
Full hog. David wishes. Maybe
yeah,
it's more tantalizing.
I think that's part of it too. Because he doesn't. I mean, I think there's like boobs in his movie, but I do think there's like a unfortunate like step up with between the two.
Yeah, it's like the thing that people because Game of Thrones doesn't Game of Thrones have like male full frontal in it at times, and I know that people were like kind of weird about that,
Yeah, I know.
or
I
like
know it
how
can also
anyone,
affect movie ratings and stuff too. I remember I watched a documentary about that like a couple years ago about
yeah,
how male nudity could get you like an NC-17 rating when like having boobs and sex in the movie wouldn't.
yeah, like Doctor Manhattan's Big Blue Dong.
Yeah. The killing in this movie is uh so these kills are whatever they have a weapon are always bloodless, but the one that stuck out to me was uh I believe she did not. It wasn't like a stab in and out. I think she just stuck it in and then he fell.
Yeah,
Maybe
something like that.
maybe she's like holding it in the background, but I also did not see the knife sticking out of his back, and that just made me think, oh, that's probably another thing that they can't do due to like TV stuff is too violent. So we gotta can't show blood. We also can't show the weapon sticking out of someone.
You know where the weapon sticking out of someone also is, Jory? Money. That's a special effect you have to do.
That's true. Yeah. You gotta have like the spring loaded knife and you gotta patch around it and
Yep.
we gotta shoot 4 more wrong movies next week. We don't have time to work on that.
Yeah, the makeup people in the we don't have a special effects department. You fucking kidding me? We got Joe over here. Joe is doing his best. Don't make Joe work harder. We go to the treatment center pretty soon after. Oh no, I'm sorry. First, Phoebe comes by Mel's house to make peace with her, and I would have called the police.
Yeah, uh-huh. That's what I thought she was gonna do. I thought she was like, I'm gonna call the police. And it's like they argue about it, and then she like goes to like physically remove her from the house, and it gets her daughter upset, which like yeah, that's gonna happen. But maybe this is drawing from personal experience more than how it would be like universal. But in my experience with like little kids, after something like this, you like I think you'd be able to explain to them like, hey, she's actually not as nice as we thought. Like, I know she's nice to you, but she's actually really mean to me, and that makes me feel bad, and I don't really want her around. And I think like kids are smarter than we want to give them credit for sometimes. Like they'll catch on and
Yes.
be like, "Oh, that's understand. Yes, I understand." Like I know like it's easy to explain to my sister, "Yeah, no, I'm not dating that girl anymore. Sorry, you're not going to see her again. We're not friends anymore." And she go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. I mean, kids are smart, and I think
Yeah.
kids are like a little more rational when they're not being written by a
Yeah.
45-year-old. I honestly think that like also if you've never seen your mother lay hands on another person before, I mean that itself is shocking. But like
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Jessica Morris, you gotta get in there and be like, she has been trying to hurt mommy.
Yeah, she's not gonna go, "Mommy's evil." She'll be like, of course she'll be scared, but like you'll be able to explain it to her. The worst one though is her husband just being like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like
Yeah,
you've seen
but
how weird this girl is, and you were, and I know we haven't been like completely eye to eye on how we're handling this with the daughter, but it's like you could take my side.
yeah, like Alex, I need you to back me up this once.
Yeah.
Also, as she's like shoving Phoebe at the door, she has her forearm in a death grip, and she's like, "If you come near my family, I will fucking kill you." Like she says, "I will kill you,"
Yeah.
which like I don't think we've heard from a protagonist of these movies before.
I don't think so.
It's kind of hot, but strike that from the record. Um, so yeah, treatment center. This treatment center rules. They kept
I
naming all the accommodations and stuff they had. They said that they had a really great like therapist to patient ratio, and they like allow a lot of like free time for activities and things. And I was like, God damn, like who is funding this?
yeah, she all of
The
a sudden
state
it's
ain't
like
funding it.
she did say something about like getting public grants and stuff and like the funding in a way that sounded like it was like government stuff and not like a privately funded place. Which
Yeah.
that's how you know we're in the fantasy.
Yeah. Though I will say some things that I feel like your girlfriend probably also would have noticed, uh, like the fact that the patients there have shoelaces and like the
Yeah.
cords on their hoodies and things that you definitely
No.
cannot have in a mental rehab facility.
And I also feel like you can't just like walk up and
Yeah, and see a
do
patient
this.
there. Yeah.
The I think we skipped over it, but she goes there and
Oh
we find
yeah.
out that the person she called as a reference for Phoebe, and then when they hung up, Phoebe had a knife pointed at her, is someone at this facility, and find out that they were both like they both were in jail together. Phoebe was in like a stalking and assault charge, or trespassing and assault, and then
Assault and vandalism is
okay,
what I
assault
have
and
written
vandalism.
down.
And then Marianne is what I think her name was for
Kellyanne.
Kellyanne. Uh, was there on like a drug charge, which is that what she was talking about when she was mentioning like a meth addict who ruined lives? I don't know.
Oh. Huh.
I just made that connection now that maybe that's who she was like. That's what she was drawing from when she brought that up. Um,
Hmm.
but
Interesting.
uh, she like goes to talk to her about her, and I feel like the way she's behaving feels like she should be like a teenager.
Yes.
Just the like the
She is very
headphones
like
and the attire
yep.
and the like the standoffishness does kind of fit for being like in a facility like this, and the way she's like, hey, talk to her like this because you don't want to upset her and stuff. But just like, and the way she's dressed, she just feels like she should be like 16.
Agreed. Here's another thing about her, right? And this is me being plural pilled, of course. Um, while Mel is driving to this treatment center, she calls Kellyanne and is like, "Hey, I called you a few days ago about a reference for this woman, Phoebe, whatever, and Phoebe Sutton, I think her name is." She's like, "Do you know her as Lisa or Jessica Nolan?" Fake name Jessica Nolan, but I have Lisa written down in other places. I must have been thinking Jessica Norris or Jessica Morris and wrote down Jessica Nolan.
Yeah, I believe it was Lisa.
Yeah, you might know her as Lisa Nolan. Kellyanne is like, I don't know what you're talking about, and hangs up. And then when she sees her at the treatment center, she's like, I called you like an hour ago. And she's like, what? No, you didn't. And she says it with such sincerity that I was like, are we finally getting the bizarre plural reveal? No. But it's in my heart.
I do think it would be kind of funny for these movies because that feels like it'd be the turn for the wrong if you're like thinking of the like hackneyed true crime procedural writing that they do that. But it would be very funny to have it just as like a side character. It's just like, yeah, that's the thing about him. Don't worry about it.
It's like the Golden Girls spin-off Empty Nest. That the backdoor pilot of it had a character with multiple personalities, just as like a side guy. Show's not even about him really. He shows up. He was not in the show when it got picked up though. They did some retooling. So forever in our hearts, Chuck.
I didn't know that there was a Golden Girls spinoff and that it got 7 seasons.
Yep.
Whoa.
A shocking number for a show that neither you nor I have heard of.
It only got 10 less episodes than the Golden Girls. That's crazy.
Bonkers.
TV was such a different thing 40 years ago.
Truly. People were just watching whatever.
Yeah. You only had like 3 channels.
Yeah. The TV executives were like, American public, your slop is ready.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh boy.
And that was in an era where you got like 24 episodes of a show. Now executives have run algorithms like, well, anything longer than 8 people can't finish in a day, so that's all we're ordering.
Yep. Ain't that just the way? I hate the future. Anyway.
But yeah, this is she doesn't give her any information. She's like, yeah, no, I don't know her. I don't know anything. Leave me alone. And then she starts yelling like, hey, help, get rid of her, please. I don't want to talk to her. Get rid of her. And understandably, she's already should not have been let in to just talk to patients as someone who doesn't know them at all. But it's just like, yeah, you got to leave. You can't do that to them. And then
yeah, you're causing a lot of problems right now.
And Phoebe pops up and be like, hey, what were you doing there? What were you doing talking to her?
Yeah, and she's like, I didn't tell her anything, Lisa. And she's like, no, I know. You're such a good friend to me. And there's like a little homoeroticism in this moment. I'm gonna say it. Yeah. Like, Kellyanne clearly has some kind of thing for Lisa.
Yeah.
And then Lisa fucking stabs her. Because of course she does.
Yeah. Hey, like you said, hopefully she lives.
Yeah, we never see her like die or whatever. We never get confirmation. She's literally like in a hospital, more or less.
Yeah.
She'll be fine. I'm sure they've had worse, like, self-inflicted injuries than, you know, a knife to the side. The kidney. She'll be fine. Mel visits Phoebe / Lisa's parole officer.
Yeah, this is where we get the like history dump on the character before the end of the movie. And I believe what it is that we find out is that she was like, her parents died and she went into foster care. Or no, wait, no, she was like given up and gone into foster care, and bad stuff happened there. And we get the connection that she's connected to Melanie's mom, played by Dee
Yeah,
Wallace.
so Mel's mom was Lisa's stepmother. And so Lisa's mother died when she was young, and then when she was like 7 or something, her father died in a car accident, and she was left in the care of her father's second wife, her stepmother, who happens to be Mel's mother. And uh she gave Lisa up to her grandparents because she thought like I can't take care of this kid as well as she needs. I think the grandparents will do better. And then something happened with the grandparents where they just kind of fucked something up and gave her up to the foster system. And it did not go well for her from there. She was abused in the foster system, and she has decided that she like wants what Mel has because Mel is like the life that she could have had if her stepmother didn't give her up. And Jory, here's where I ask, have you seen or read any of the 50 Shades of Grey franchise?
I've listened to people talk about them and the movies too, but it was on a bad movie podcast. So, is there something like this in that series?
This is almost exactly the same backstory as the like bad guy in the third book has with Christian Grey. He and Christian Grey both grew up in the same foster home, and Christian was like adopted by a rich family, and then I think the guy's name is Jack, was just kind of like passed around from family to family until he aged out. And he like blames Christian. He's like laser focused on Christian Grey as like, you have what I deserve. Similar, it's like the same thing, really, except arguably it makes more sense here.
That I never would have thought that those books would go there.
Yeah. Also, that this bad guy, he became a like editor at a major publishing company. So like, and he's doing fine.
Is
Except
it
he does, I believe, take Anastasia Steele to New York and maybe try to sexually assault her. I don't know. There's some stuff there. I don't remember. But financially, he seems to be doing pretty well.
so? I know that 50 Shades of Grey was based off of Twilight fan fiction. Is he supposed to be Jacob?
No, Jacob is some other guy who tries to assault Anastasia in the first book. He's
Okay.
like some photographer guy. His name might be Julio or something like that. It's
Mm.
something non-white.
Oh, okay.
50 Shades of Grey. I need to remember this name now. Jose.
Oh, okay.
I was close. I knew it was something a
Yeah.
white British woman would name a Hispanic man.
This is when we get the ticking time bomb, I guess, is like once we find out that's my mom, and we cut to Dee Wallace, again, the mom from E.T., which feels weird, but again, I believe I mentioned it the last time she showed up. I looked up if you look up like her filmography, she has been in E.T., a very important movie in the history of film, and then just crap. She's been in
Yeah.
B movie trash before and after that.
I guess it pays the bills.
Which kind of lines up for like early Steven Spielberg, but it's like it's just very funny that she could, I don't know, like she probably could have, maybe she didn't want to, or she just likes working. I know, like I've seen stuff like Eric Roberts, part of the reason he does it is like it's work and it helps him stay sober and stuff. It's like, yeah, you're a working actor. But It's very funny to go from
Gotta
like
do something.
E.T. to David Dakota movies.
Yeah, E.T. to the wrong mommy.
Yeah. And she gets more than in the last movie she was in, where she was just in the end of the movie with sequel bait, and then this one she actually like gets to do stuff, and just like she immediately recognizes Phoebe, who's there to like kidnap her, and we get, I guess she's been living there for the entire time she's been gone. She just like
Is
casually
that what
drops.
happened?
I think that because she's like, "How'd you get in here?" She's like, "Oh, this
Oh
has been
my
my house
god.
for like over a week now," and I think that means she's just been, that's where she's been living.
That's why she has the portrait of Dee Wallace with the family. Okay, it's all coming together, Jory.
Yeah, this is when we get the classic wrong. Everything happens in less 10 minutes thing, where yeah, she
Yep.
kidnaps her, and then she goes to Melanie's home and just kind of hanging out with uh her husband and the daughter, while also having a gun in her purse.
As you do.
And when Melanie gets there, they talk. There's probably a name for this trope, but they're talking about something else while they're meaning something. So they're like trying to talk in a way to get the rest of them gone, so they can be separated from the family, and finish this. Yeah, we got to do some work stuff. So you guys got to go get some ice cream or something.
Yeah.
And it basically goes like, "Hey, so you thought you could just like come into my life and replace me and it would just work out for you? That's kind of crazy." She's like, "What's weird about that? I think it'd work."
Yeah.
Like, what's that? Is that so
What's
crazy
wrong
that
with that plan?
is it that crazy that I thought I could just replace you and everything would carry on like normal?
Oh, real quick, there's a moment that I wanted to bring up that we skipped over. She tries to call her mother, I believe, and
Oh yeah.
Phoebe slash Lisa picks up and is like, "Oh, don't worry, like I have everything under control here." And then she's like, "Oh fuck, let me call Alex." And she calls Alex, and Phoebe picks up again. She's like, "Alex's phone, he's a little busy at the moment." I was like, "Oh shit, like that would
Yeah.
actually like send me into a fucking spiral in this
Yeah.
situation."
That's really good. The I wrote in my notes because she's like, to like make it seem less weird that she's there. She's to Alex. She's like, "Yeah, we totally smoked the peace pipe."
Yeah, I forgot she said that. Oh no.
It's like, you can't be talking like that, middle-aged white lady.
Yeah. Yeah, so then Phoebe pulls a gun from her purse and she's like, "See, I'm gonna kill you and say it was self-defense because multiple people across your life have seen you lay hands on me now." Which I was like, "Oh shit, like hang on. She actually has something
Yeah,
here."
she's onto it.
And then she says something like, "I'm gonna be such a good aunt and then stepmommy to Tina, and I'm gonna have all the right stuff, the right house, the right life, the right mommy." And then Dee Wallace comes out of nowhere with a bat and says, "More like the wrong mommy," and hits her over the head, and I got bingo in the wrong bingo game. Because I got someone gets strangled, fake website, important business deal, homoeroticism, and wrong is hit over the head.
Hell yeah. This is this is like the it might be, I'm sure they have more contrived ways to say like wedding planner stuff, but this might be the funniest one
Weak.
so far, because at this point this is when it happens in every movie, right?
Yeah.
And this is like the way this ending is just raises a bunch of questions like, did does does Alex and the kid know that grandma's there?
Yeah.
What's going on? Or do they have the pet? But was she even like tied up? Like, just her jumping on the cord, smack her in the back of the head is really funny.
Yeah, I was so confused by this, but also, pog, pog, pog. It's like, on paper, this is so weak, but in delivery, it's very good. Like, why does she just says the right mommy so that Dee Wallace can say the wrong mommy.
Absolutely.
And also, like, we never find out if Dee Wallace was tied up, as you said. And it's just like, I don't know. Leave the name drop to Vivica. Vivica does it best. And they do that from now on, I think. I think from now on, Vivica always gets the line. Then we get a scene, a little denouement, that for the first time in this entire franchise, they have empathy for the wrong. Like, Dee Wallace and Melanie are both like, Dee Wallace is like, I really wish that I hadn't given her up. If I had known that it wouldn't work out with her grandparents and that she would wind up in the foster system, I would have kept her in the first place. And Mel is like, she was dealt a really hard hand in life. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is this understanding? That's not what these movies are about. These movies are where you point at them and go, wow, that's crazy. You are crazy. You're a crazy person. And that's why you were doing bad things. And not like you are somebody who is unwell because of a series of horrible traumas in your life and you have a lot of misplaced grief and anger that has become like violent. And the fact that you were like in and out of jail. There was a scene with the parole officer where the parole officer is like, a lot of people who've sat in that chair have been dealt a really hard hand in life. I was like, what the fuck? Movie based?
You're not supposed to be like, you're supposed to fearmonger, not not be understanding.
Yeah, not on my lifetime.
You're supposed to go, she was in the foster system's bad, but also kids from the foster system are bad. Not
exactly.
You should do, you have to think about them as like people.
Ugh. Horrifying. Next you're going to tell me I have to start thinking about the mentally ill in a neutral way, maybe even a positive way. Oh.
Hold on, I don't know if we're there yet.
And then they say women helping women at some point in this scene. Oh no, that's after Dee Wallace hits her over the head. Forgot. Jory, you watched this movie on the Plex server, I have to imagine.
Yes.
I watched it on Tubi because the Plex server was being fucking weird because the Plex app is horrible.
Yeah, it sucks on PC.
So, after the credits, or like sometime in the credits there, did you get a title card that said Alternate Act 9?
No, or at least I didn't see.
Yeah, so for me on Tubi, the credits started rolling and then it said Alternate Act 9. And it played the last like 10 minutes of the movie again from when she like comes home and Lisa is there and stuff. Through to the end. And then it tacks on like an Avengers Endgame scene at the end where Lisa is like in a treatment facility and this young hot doctor comes in and he's like, hey, I wanted to see how you're doing. You might still feel kind of fuzzy from your concussion that you got, but also some of the medications that we're giving you might make you feel that way as well. So just let us know how you're doing. And he, you're here, you're in a safe place. We're going to work on all of that rage and pain. And he like offhandedly mentions that he has a daughter. And then Lisa starts asking some really invasive questions about his daughter, where she's like how old is she? Is she pretty? And he's like, I mean, she's my daughter. Of course I'm going to say that she's pretty. And she says like, does she like something? Does she like movies or something weird and silly like that? And it's like, oh, here we go again, I guess. Which seems kind
Huh.
of out of line with the rest of her character.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad they cut it.
Yeah, that's because I know it was the wrong teacher was the other one with D. Wallace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one had the like fake away sequel bait thing. Uh and that it felt way out of place there too. I
When are we gonna get our Rogues Gallery film of all of the weird sequel baits? We got this one. We got the wrong stepmother who is still out there,
yeah,
like black widowing people. The wrong teacher guy. I don't know. I think that we could make kind of a Sinister Six here.
I was thinking Suicide Squad.
Are you trying to
There
say that there's some kind of Suicide Squad?
it's like a Suicide Squad or a Silence of the Lambs type thing where you got to work with the
Ooh,
bad
yeah.
guys to catch a different bad guy, a badder guy even.
Hang on, maybe we have something here. We gotta pitch the wrong sequel. But that's the film. Jory, tell me about the thrills in this one.
Um, I would say especially like towards the end, once we like know everything that's going on and like her her still getting like taking over the family and no one listening to Melanie at all. It is
Mm-hmm.
like getting you on the edge of your seat, like, oh, holy shit. And same with her like choking out Eric Roberts or like sneaking in on the computer scientist kid. Um it I would say it's not as thrilling as some of the previous entries have been, but it's not as like boring also as some have been. Like it's kind of in the middle, at
Agreed.
least for the thrills.
Yeah, I think that the last act of this movie is like moderately thrilling, and I really love how like I said, I love how this movie breaks Mel and like how she like has to reckon with the fact that everyone in her life seemingly has fucking like turned on her because of this woman. So that's pretty thrilling. Tell me about the homoeroticism.
You get like I said, kind of like the bedroom eyes when they're out getting drinks. You get the one guy, he's like shirtless, taking a shower, and I especially like that one. He was in the shower. The camera's positioned in just a way that like he is probably like standing in the shower wearing like skin like nude tights or something, so that you wouldn't accidentally get his junk in there. But he looks like he's probably naked, and that's pretty hot.
Yeah. No, he was stripping down to his underwear, walking to the shower, and it's like, yeah, go David, go.
Yeah. Which I think that's the
But
most.
yeah,
That's one of the more nude we've had of a guy too. Seeing him in his underwear.
yeah, true. But apart from that, we got some female homoeroticism as well. I genuinely do kind of think that Phoebe slash Lisa wants to fuck Mel at least a little bit. Maybe it's like a subconscious Freudian thing, but it's there.
Is
And
this is a me? Maybe this is a that's a bad way to listen. Maybe this is cancelable as just like a guy in a straight relationship. Is that some like a form of toxic Yuri? Is wanting to just take over someone's life so badly you also want them?
yeah, this too is Yuri, to be honest. You are absolutely right. And I gotta say, I kind of think this has some genuine gothic horror themes
Oh yeah.
if we're stretching the gothic horror to not just be like werewolves and stuff,
Yeah.
but to be like, the Edgar Allan Poe dread and family drama and things where like, I don't know, this like the ghost of your childhood, like this child that you abandoned coming back to you. That is some like gothic horror stuff to me. But we always have to make a stretch for that one.
Yeah. Maybe they need to make one of these a period piece. That'd be fun.
They
Just do
do.
one. Just do a silly one. That'd be a
The
period
wrong
piece.
cabbie.
Yeah.
The wrong aristocrat. Jory, how many mommies would you give this out of 5?
I would give this like 2.5 to 3. I think this one was the most I laughed at them and had the least dips and like, fuck, I'm bored. That's a lot of them have at certain points. Like, I was engaged through quite a bit of this, and someone could go, well, you didn't watch one for a while. It's like, that's true, but I've watched hundreds of like cheap, bad movies, so like, sometimes there's parts where it's just fucking boring. This was not.
Agreed. I also say like 2.5. I personally think 3 might be pushing it slightly for me. But I think it's a very solid 2.5, which is a lot better than a lot of these movies. I think that it was a lot of fun. I think that if I were to show somebody a wrong movie, this would be on like my short list to show them. It would be like this and The Wrong Student, probably The Wrong Man, and The Wrong Stepmother. That's like my top 4.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
But yeah, final thoughts on The Wrong Mommy?
I think we hit every. Oh, there's like one small note that I missed. When she goes to work the first time, the receptionist is sitting on the Windows 10 lock screen.
Oh yeah.
And she's like pretending to type on the keyboard, but the screen isn't changing because it's on the lock screen.
As somebody who's been an executive assistant, big mood.
See, you didn't do. See, what I did when I sat at a desk at the front of a business is I had my like stuff I was supposed to be working on up, and then minimized into a tiny box in the corner so that unless someone was right over my shoulder, they couldn't see it. And then I was reading like a Reddit
Yes.
or like. I remember at that job, I was like, I'm just gonna reread Problem Sleuth while I'm here. So I just did that.
Yeah. That executive assistant job, if you were a listener of Three Little Words in 2022 to 2023, I read a lot of those books at that job. Just on the clock. I was actually getting paid for it. Yeah. Also, my one final note is that this is the most unlikable character that Vivica has played to this point.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. I think that she should be a big bitch occasionally.
Yeah. It's nice that even in the executive producer role, she's not like she's not making sure she's only portrayed positively.
Yeah, she's seems to be like, I'm a fucking actress.
Yeah.
Stick me wherever you think that I'll be fun.
It's not
And
like
occasionally let me plug Vivica's black magic.
It's not like The Rock and Vin Diesel in Fast Furious movies having like agents to make sure that in like fight scenes that they each get hit the same amount of time so one of them doesn't look stronger or weaker than the other.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, men are so weak.
Which it vaguely makes sense for The Rock coming from the wrestling world because it's like kind of thing you got to give a shit about then. But for an actor, no.
Yeah.
Like actors don't need to worry about that. Wrestlers, I argue, don't need to in the last like 30 years, but some of them are stuck on it. Made sense at like the 70s. Was like, well, if you lose a town over, people in the next town are going to hear that you suck. They're not going to be interested in seeing you. But in movies, I don't know. Isn't it exciting when the comedy guy or the action guy does like a serious drama? Even though people go, he's trying to win an award. It's like, yeah, but it's also exciting to see if he can pull it off.
Yeah, and like what's more interesting when a hero like gets all the bad guys beaten up without a scratch on him, or when he gets beaten the fuck up and still wins.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I don't know.
Or,
but I'm not, listen, I'm not Mr. Diesel.
Or there's a little movie called Rocky where,
Yeah.
spoilers for like almost 50-year-old movie. He doesn't win. It's not.
I was gonna watch it tomorrow.
It's not about whether or not he wins. It's the fact that he did it. Like, it's an expiring story that he did it. He doesn't need to win. Like,
yeah. Anyway, Jory, where can people find you online?
You can find me anywhere Jories are found at No I'm Jory, except for Blue Sky, which is jory.zone. You'll get pics of my dog. You get pics of let's see, if you're not on my Instagram is one that the only one I don't plug, but you see pictures of me with glasses. I've done an extended bit on Instagram where I like, if I take when I got him, I took a picture of myself and then I censored it. And I was like, hey, you gotta see me in person to see what I look like. And then posted the same picture without it on my close friends list, which is 99% of the people that follow me. It's like, you guys are cool. But anytime I make a public post, I like flip my glasses up on my head. No one said anything, but I laugh about it each time. And that's all that matters.
That's a good bit.
I moved my setup for my vinyl and turntable, so I try to post about my records when I do that. I have like 300 some, so if you're interested in vinyl, you'll see vinyl posts. I got my other show. We are watching One Piece. At the time of recording, One Piece is on hiatus right now. They're only doing 26 episodes a year, so we are covering Samurai Flamenco. Parker picked it up because they're like a bit for a long time has been Jory predicting what's going to happen next. So I want to get Jory's predictions for this show. And with the last episode recorded, I never would have predicted the turn it took, but it's been a fun show. And then eventually we'll get back to talking about Luffy when there's new episodes.
Oh yeah.
Where can we find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Punkdyke, PUNKDYKE. Can't believe nobody had that ad on there either, and cannot believe that when I was 7 years old, both of my parents died, and I was left with that ad, but that ad gave me up to my grandparents, and then I was put into Twitter for years and was horribly, horribly traumatized by it, and now I seek revenge on Blue Sky by making such posts as "she, her, I hardly know her." And you can find the show at The Wrong Podcast on Blue Sky. It's The Wrong Podcast, right? I literally went and looked like 2 days ago.
It is Wrong Podcast.
Fuck. And you can find the show at Wrong Podcast on Blue Sky. You can get updates on the show there and on other stuff on the Moonshot Network or that we are individually doing, if you are interested in stuff that we do. At time of recording, on my Twitch, we are Alexandra, WeareAlexandra, which is the same URL that you can, or username that you can find me at for basically anything plural related. Camilla is playing through Pokemon Infinite Fusion, where you fuse Pokemon together to make new Pokemon as a break from the randomizer Nuzlocke that she's been grinding at for a couple of months. Yeah, I think that's it. But until next time, I guess you just listened to The Wrong Podcast.
The Moonshot Network is excited to announce our Memorial Day weekend charity stream, Moontropolis, the city on the moon. This May 22nd through May 24th, the enterprising entertainers of the Moonshot Network will be streaming to fundraise for Advocates for Trans Equality, a non-profit fighting for the legal and political rights of transgender people in America. We'll have our own Moon Mayoral Debate, a table read of 1987's Moonstruck, and returning favorites of streams past. We're also building out new segments, like a speedrun race of I'm sorry, did you say street magic? Help us build the city on the moon by tuning into Moontropolis, a good time for a good cause. Streaming May 22nd through May 24th at twitch.tv/moonshotnetwork or moonshot.move. Let's go to the moon! Moontropolis!